forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, you're able to see this in the night sky. Yeah, a little bit of a white dot on our camera, the Roofing Dog INET Adams Memorial weather camera. That is the almost full moon, which we'll talk more about coming up a little bit later. But obviously, the clear skies allowing you to see much of the sky tonight. There are a few clouds out there, but things look pretty good. Comfortable, too. 68, Champaign and Mattoon. Lower humidity values, you can feel that. Let's get you the school forecast. Pop quiz. What's it going to be like heading to school? We're going to say 62, partly cloudy skies. And on the way home, about 79. It's an A kind of a forecast for sure. All right, we'll talk about that full moon and rain for the weekend when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
So everybody in the old profile system is not paying their fair share of taxes.
She's leaving her post as interim assessor in one county plagued with property tax issues, but not before giving a warning.
Plus, one family says their child was abused at school. What happened after they reported it?
You've heard of Lyme disease, but now health officials say you need to look out for something else. What one type of tick could be spreading.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
I have the right to curtail repetitive comments. A history.
Go ahead and curtail it and get this on tape because I'm being told to shut up. I got 3 minutes.
No. Move on to non-repetitive comments.
It's not non-repetitive. It's what you do. You do nothing.
One chapter in the Coles County Assessment Office ended with a heated exchange and whistleblowing by the outgoing interim supervisor. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. Tonight we have new details about what came out of that explosive meeting. We told you last night Kelly Munyon listed problems she noticed while overseeing the assessment office in Coles County for 2 months. And now those problems fall into the hands of the newly appointed supervisor, Denise Shores. WCIA 3's Jen Last joins us now in the newsroom. So, Jen, what does Munyon say needs addressed here?
Well, she pointed out a lot of issues, and this was a role Munyon took on after Karen Biddle retired. Biddle oversaw the county's first reassessment of commercial and industrial properties for taxing purposes in 16 years. State law requires reassessments every 4 years, though. According to Munyon, some of the issues she noticed have led to people being disproportionately taxed.
Somebody has to pay for it, so the rest of us are paying that. We're paying more than those people.
Outgoing supervisor of assessments Kelly Munyon is sounding the alarm as she steps down from her interim post. One issue, she says the new assessment computer system was installed in 2011, but thousands of properties were still on the old system, meaning they were being taxed less.
So everybody in the old profile system is not paying their fair share of taxes.
Munyon also said property tax exemptions had been applied to properties that shouldn't have them. She also described her discovery that some single parcel properties like duplexes were being split in half so the owner could claim more exemptions. She says employees told her higher-ups instructed them to split the parcels.
I said, who are the higher-ups? I mean, that would be your supervisor or Department of Revenue. But their answer was the board. So I'd like to know, is it the Board of Review? The county board? Who told them it was okay to do this? Do you have an answer, anybody?
Munyon called for transparency going forward.
This board needs to be more transparent. You're not. And when you ignore people and they ask for answers to things, it looks like you're hiding something. You need to be more transparent. The taxpayers of Coles County and citizens have hired you to do a job.
One of the business owners in a group called the Concerned Taxpayers of Coles County accused the board of ignoring his concerns.
Never should have came to this point. We really should have had some resolution quite a while ago, and we haven't had any. We've had to file lawsuits, we've had to present evidence, and unfortunately we are in the same spot we were 2.5 years ago, and we have not moved an inch.
And those concerns will now become the new county supervisor of assessments problems. Our partners at the Journal-Gazette say Denise Shores told them organization would be key for her moving forward. We reached out to the Coles County Board Chair Mike Zuhone for a comment on Munyon's concerns. He told us in part, quote, the newly appointed supervisor is also keenly aware of the immense and complicated effort it is going to take to resolve those issues. It is unfortunate that the hostility directed toward the board and our state's attorney is an ongoing scenario, but we, the board, are working diligently to serve the citizens of Coles County. Live in the newsroom, Jen Lask, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jen, thank you. Now, at the beginning of the year, we told you the property tax dispute was headed to the Supreme Court after a federal appeals court struck it down in October. The lawsuit accused Coles County of disproportionately taxing business owners in order to pay for the Mattoon School District. The Supreme Court declined to hear the case.
Police had to look across state lines to arrest a man wanted for homicide. Javon Torbert was caught on an outstanding warrant in Gary, Indiana. He's also a person of interest in the shooting death of 29-year-old Shanae Moore. That happened on July 4th. Police are still investigating. Police are also investigating after a man was shot while sitting in his apartment last night. Happened on Crescent Drive across the street from Centennial High School. The man's going to be okay. Police say there have been 19 shootings in the past year within a half-mile radius of Crescent and John. No one's been arrested in last night's shooting. Happening now, police have blocked off a street after shots were fired tonight. Happened at the corner of Vine and State in Champaign. No one was hurt, but property was damaged. Police found one round at the street corner. They're still searching the area.
We have a follow-up on a story from last year. The former Springfield School Board vice president is facing more charges while still in county jail. Springfield police are investigating Adam Lopez for theft. The Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's office says he started looking into this in June. Lopez has been in the Sangamon County jail since last year for scamming the elderly out of more than $1 million, including some of his own family members.
Urbanus firefighters responded to a fire at an apartment complex tonight. It happened near Smith Road and Prairie Green Drive. They say someone was grilling on their balcony when a small fire broke out. It damaged some of the siding on the apartment. No one was hurt. People were able to go back inside within a half hour. New at 10, the Decatur Fire Department is getting a multi-million-dollar training facility. The Howard Buffett Foundation applied for the building permit. The 5-story building will be on West Grove Road. It'll cost more than $2 million to build. No word on when it's expected to be done.
A motorcyclist was seriously hurt after a crash on I-74 this morning. It happened about 1.5 miles from the St. Joe exit, where construction starts in the eastbound lanes. Police say an SUV cut off another vehicle, and that caused a chain reaction crash. No one has been ticketed. Two Rossville parents say their daughter was mistreated by a teacher's aide. Now they want to spread the word to other parents who may be in a similar situation. Ross Brill says his daughter Cadence was bruised after the aide tried to pick her up. Brill reported what happened to school leaders. He doesn't think enough was done. He also reported the situation to DCFS and police. Officers confirmed they took the report, but when they turned it into the state's attorney's office, they were told there wasn't enough evidence for criminal charges.
Then I asked him, do you think this could have been handled in a different manner? For example, talk to her, maybe guide her with your hand. He completely agreed with me. He says, yeah, there's probably 5 or 6 different ways this could have been handled.
We reached out to the school superintendent. They say, quote, we are not at liberty to discuss any issues that involve personnel or students, end quote. Family members of that teacher's aide tell us the accusations are not true.
An endowment to honor former Illinois scholar Ying Zhang is set to become official. University of Illinois officials say that will happen Monday at the Illini Union. The Zhang family established the endowment to assist international students in crisis and their families. They provided the lead gift for the endowment. The news conference is open to the public. New this year, the University of Illinois will offer a new financial aid package to in-state students. To qualify for Illinois Commitment, a student's family income must be $61,000 or less to qualify. The program will cover tuition and campus fees for incoming freshmen for 4 years or up to 3 years for transfer students.
The state fair isn't over yet, but it's already setting records.
Plus, it's a day about success for Democrats in Illinois. We'll tell you why they're celebrating.
And one of this team's best players graduated last year, so how do you go about replacing him? We'll tell you what they have planned.